Hello and welcome back to Mayster Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Call Jane, starring Elizabeth Banks and Sigourney Weaver. Now, this film taps into some pretty relevant territory today, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was decided to be made because of those bills that were made, that were done and that were passed in America lately that caused a lot of controversy and rioting. Maybe the production time was a bit too early for it to really caught on it, but either way, it's very relevant. And if it wasn't intended to work like that, then they've hit the jackpot with this release date, post-COVID. But yeah, this film is probably the best thing I've seen Elizabeth Banks in. I haven't seen Sigourney Weaver in much, but she's really strong here as well. And the film is, I really like when films like this have strong, heavy sort of activist messages like this, where in this case, of course, it's a lot about female empowerment and feminism. You know by this point that I like it done properly in the media and really organically and authentically, rather than just being in your face girl power moments. That's how I prefer it, where it's done naturally and it just feels right to me. This film does that to a T. Now, I say it's done organically because it is never in your face. There's a couple of jabs, a joke here and there that's against men, and yeah, whatever. And that's just banter. That's just banter. I'll be honest, right? If I saw a film and it was the other way around, I'd probably laugh at the joke. You know what I mean? It's fine. And it was done incredibly well because it became what films like this should be about. The characters and the women as a gender and what they are going through. And sort of the psychological elements of those abortion procedures. Also as well, I've given you no context as to what the hell this film's about. It's essentially about the early illegal abortion clinics in America. Back when it was still very much illegal. That's what this film's about, and how someone who basically faced with death has no option but to end the pregnancy and is not granted permission by the doctor's board or whatever, essentially goes to this mysterious service called Jane to get the procedure done, and in doing so then befriends the people who run it and then ends up performing the procedures herself. And how that whole system takes place, and hiding the secrecy from her family and her husband and her neighbours, and trying to keep it all under wraps, and then framing it under this art class that she goes to. It's really quite an investing film that, as a male audience member, was quite interesting to see a full 2-hour experience from the other side, with very little male representation, that if there was, it was particularly, in some cases, quite negative. So it's which of course isn't particularly great. I don't think there was many truly positive male characters in this. Still, I can have my complaints, and with this film it's always going to come under things like representation, how I say about things, but it's with the content and how they handled what the women were going through psychologically on a performance and directed level, yeah, I was very impressed. And that was also quite in-depth thoughts on this film. So that's I think with reviews going forward into chapter 2, I'd like to spend a lot more time in discussion with like a panel of people as we go to see these, rather than just having these short sort of 2 to 5 minute drop-ins. So that's that's essentially my overall thoughts on Call Jane. So that is all for today on Mayster Reviews, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.